What's up, everybody? It is Mikey from Immortals podcast. Thank you all for being here today on this illustrious whatever day of the week it is. I have my good friend Josh in here.
What's up,
Thank
guys?
you for being here today, Josh.
No problem.
Josh came to me. Josh plays here all the time for D&D and whatnot, and he came to me and he was like, yo, let's do a podcast. And I was like, dude, let's do it. Why is Immortals your spot?
Well, I like it's like a homey kind of feel here. People, you get along with people, you can joke around with them.
Yeah.
I was gonna try Recess out in North Olmsted, but
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, you got paid." I'm like, "Well, that's stupid. Like, why would I pay $40 to try to join a campaign? You know?" So
And no disrespect to Recess.
no disrespect. They're cool. They got some pretty cool stuff there too.
They're cool. Like, yeah, they're still cool. But yeah, like
big wide selection.
that's funny you say that because a lot of people like say the same thing about us. Like it's a comfortable feel. Like they're here and they feel like they're at home.
Mhm.
Like that's how I feel. Even though I basically live here, anyways.
Yeah, because you basically live here 24/7.
Yeah, and well, thank you for saying that. And yeah, like today is Wednesday. We're filming this. It's D&D day. We do Adventures League 2 times a week. Are you here on Sundays or are you just here on Wednesdays?
Just Wednesdays. Sundays
Nice.
just like hectic with my schedule, with everything going on at home.
Yeah, I get that. And I heard that you're a pretty big Spider-Man fan.
Dude, you would not believe it, man. You would not believe how much of a big Spider-Man
On a scale
fan.
of 1 to 10, humbly speaking.
Humbly speaking, oh, that's a bold scale. That's more like 100.
Dude, okay, so you're above there.
I'm above there. I'm the type of guy that when Spider-Man No Way Home came out, I'm the guy who literally freaked out when Toby and Andrew showed up.
Dude,
And
what was your reaction? Do you have the blind reaction on camera or no?
No, I don't.
Dude, that'd be great.
There are people on YouTube that have like audience reactions. You don't
Yeah.
see, you see parts of the audience and everybody's just like losing their freaking minds because
Yeah.
like as a kid, like, you know, I grew up with the Toby movies.
Yeah, me too.
And, you know, it's like, oh, cool. Then now they're back in it. We're, you know, telling us what happened after 20 some years.
Yeah.
Like if they were still around or not.
Yeah, dude.
Bringing back, you know, Doc Ock, you know, Green Goblin from Toby, you know, Lizard and Electro.
Okay, so I'm
Even
glad we're on the same page that is one of the most peak movies of all time. Like,
when that trailer dropped for No Way Home, when they teased Doc Ock and Green Goblin throwing his pumpkin bomb, that trailer, I kid you not, broke like record views for Marvel on YouTube because
it had to have. I remember that. Like, it went better than Avengers Endgame, I think. That one did.
it's better than like Endgame. There's like Spider-Man No Way Home, Endgame, like right there.
Dang, dude. So
'Cause-
where'd your love of Spider-Man originate?
So when I was younger, I stayed the night at my grandparents' house, and you get the Sunday paper. We'll have like Spider-Man comics in it, and that's when I kind of fell in love with it. Because to me, I can resonate with Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I was a nerdy kid in school. I'm not super smart like him. Like he's a major science whiz. I'm nowhere near that level.
Yeah.
But just being, you know, a nerd being picked on, it's like, okay, then you read about a kid who was just granted spider powers.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do the good thing that I was gifted with these powers. And if it was me and I had those type of powers, I would honestly do the same thing he would do, try to help people.
Yeah, dude. I mean, who's to say you don't right now and you're lying to me?
I know, right? It's like, oh, no, I don't.
Like
I'm not.
if you just jump on the ceiling like the Andrew Garfield style right now.
Yeah,
dude.
right.
Okay, so Toby, Andrew, Tom, which one's the all-time best Spider-Man of all
So
time?
honestly, I gotta go with Toby.
Okay.
Great. Yeah. So there was like 3 different things between all 3 Spider-Man. Is like Toby. Yeah, he did some science stuff. He had some quips. Andrew was combined of both with quippy and sciencey.
Mhm.
And Tom is just like the more science and some quips behind him. That's like the whole basis of Spider-Man. When he's Spider-Man and he's fighting bad guys, you gotta be quippy about it. So that's how I see it. Like they're all 3 are, you know, are good. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Like, but I gotta go with Toby. Honestly,
Yeah, I respect that. I think nostalgically speaking, and just I think in overall accuracy, he's probably the overall favorite from everybody
Oh,
else.
definitely. I mean, there are people today, like even young kids, like, oh, I like Toby, and like you have no idea how
Yeah, dude.
how it was for us back in early 2000.
You have no idea what the hype surrounding those movies were.
Oh, dude,
That's right.
no, man. It's like when they first dropped the trailer for the first Spider-Man movie, like everybody like lost their freaking minds because like a live action Spider-Man. The last type of live action Spider-Man, I guess you say movie or whatever, was on TV was back in the 70s.
Yeah, dude.
I actually found it on YouTube too. I found the whole original first Spider-Man movie from the 70s on YouTube.
Dude, and what's crazy when you look at that 2003 the first one came out? Or
I think it was 2002.
Wasn't
it
like
it was like right
one?
after 9/11.
Yeah, it was one. Yeah, because they had to remove the Twin Towers from the actual old promos or whatever.
Yeah, because
like
in
that.
some of the promos you could see the Twin Towers in his lenses.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. So, like, isn't that crazy how when you look at that footage and the film today, it still holds up?
Oh,
like,
the effects are still practical. I mean, yeah, obviously the webbing, everything else, a little bit of CGI. I mean, that's early 2000s.
yeah, but it still looks great.
It still
though.
looks good. Like, I didn't know, but apparently, like, they were going to do web shooters, but Sam Raimi's like, let's change it up. Let's make him shoot organic webs.
Yeah, dude. And that was the best thing they could have done. Like, I'm always conflicted between Tom and Toby because Tom is so comic accurate. You know what I mean? Like, he's like
he's up there.
dead comic accuracy, but then obviously like the OG is Toby. So
Yeah, I mean, the next couple of years for Spider-Man fans are going to be pretty epic. You got the new Tom Holland film coming out next year.
And then we have Magic the Gathering that announced the Spider-Man set coming out. I think it's July.
I've heard of that. You know, I'm a big Magic guy, but I heard rumors that they were going to do like some type of Spider-Man thing for it because they did other Marvel characters, I'm guessing.
Yeah, let me look up the date and I'll cut this out because I want to see the exact date. Marvel Spider-Man, September 26th, 2025 is when it comes out.
Oh, so like right after at the month of my birthday.
And it looks like the collector booster displays are from the Into the Spider-Verse, and then the play booster boxes show the it's either the Tobey Maguire or the Tom Holland version, which is pretty cool. I think that's going to be huge. I know like they already did Marvel sets and stuff like that. You and I both don't play Magic, but I feel like that's something that I would just buy off impulse.
I would just buy it just to have like, oh, I got Spider-Man Magic Gathering cards.
Right?
I mean, because you've mentioned Into the Spider-Verse, because I don't know if you know the whole like Into the Spider-Verse movie they did Across the Spider-Verse like back in 2023.
Yeah.
And they just finally announced that's coming out in 2027.
Yeah.
And everybody's like wondering why it's taking so long, and I'm just like, Sony's got problems with their animators, I guess.
Dude, and the animation is so complex.
Oh,
like
dude, you have no idea. I think those movies are kind of revolutionary in itself too. For
They
graphic
are.
wise,
They are. Nobody did it like
no,
them.
no one did that. It's cool how they did the comic aesthetic to it because
Yes.
you're basically watching a comic book. That's
Yes.
that's all it is.
And like in terms of like you being a Spider-Man superhero, super lover, like how does that resonate with you playing D&D? Is there anything that you can kind of take from both and kind of resonate with and bond between between D&D and your love for superheroes?
Yeah, I mean, there's a sense of, because the fantasy behind comics and everything, you can use your imagination. You're reading the words in the comic books. You're looking at Spider-Man take on, let's say Green Goblin, and you're reading the words and everything. And you're feeling like the emotions behind it. When playing D&D as your character, you gotta try to put your mind in that fantasy sense of like, oh hey, I'm my character, I'm my own. He's a different person completely. It's basically playing using your alter ego, secret identity.
Yeah, like you're literally putting yourself where you're not. You got to leave this realm and be in that character's shoes.
Because once the campaign starts, it's like, okay, like you start off where you left off. There's always a plot behind it. You got to figure out, okay, where do I fit myself in the story?
Yeah.
And how the DM or whatever is gonna like, oh hey, plot twist. These guys are coming out to kick your guys' butts.
Yeah.
And then, there was a few times where Robbie was like, oh, hey, by the way, surprise! Little hobgoblins. Okay, cool. So, they throw pumpkin bombs or not? I gotta know this.
Right, and what is your character class?
Right now, so we're back to, like, tier 1, so right now it's a human ranger.
Nice.
My other one was a human fighter.
Nice.
So
you like to fight?
Yeah, I like to fight. I was gonna do a dwarf, because I'm short, so everybody's like, oh, you should do a dwarf. I'm like, well, that's offensive. Kidding, but
You're like, you just personally attacked me right there.
No, it's okay. I don't have a human ranger fig, so I'm using my dwarf one. And last week, my friend Diana, we were behind these walls and you couldn't see my character, and she's like, hey, look, you're Gimli. And I'm like, okay, that's not cool.
That's too far.
That's
Diana.
too far. I'm not Gimli. Come on, he's cooler than I am. He's like over 1,000 years old.
Right. So what advice would you give to somebody who's kind of antsy about stepping into the D&D scene, or they're introverted, because we deal with a lot of introverts here.
Yeah.
So what would you give to someone who's trying to like get past that barrier or that fear?
I would say just honestly go for it, because I was skeptical at first, because I wasn't really big into it, like, ever. And I started watching Critical Role and everything and watching them online. And obviously they did their show Vox Machina. And watching them getting excited, rolling a natural 20, or, hitting a critical hit on a monster, and seeing them get excited. It's like, okay, I want to try that out and see if I could get excited like that. See how they portray it, and like, okay, let's do this thing. Maybe this will work. And so I remember coming in the first time, it was on a Sunday and everything, and I started. And that was like the last and first time I was here. Then it's like, okay, maybe we'll try again. I want to get back into it. So I would say honestly go for it, because you don't know what you're comfortable with until you know what your level of comfort is.
Yeah, you don't know until you know.
I like to say, don't knock it till you try it.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. I'm sure somebody would thank you for saying that. Josh, I thank you for coming on the podcast today. I would love to have you back on and talk about other nerdy stuff.
Dude, I'm always down. I'm free, so like, and Wednesdays, I'm free whenever, man. But
Yeah.
I appreciate this opportunity for real. It's just cool to talk about the one person that kind of inspired me to be somewhat of a nerd.
Yeah, and if you guys like this, or you like us talking about this stuff, let us know. We'll keep talking about superhero nerd stuff. I am a super fan of the Marvel Universe. I know you guys who watch me on the podcast know I don't play any of these games, but I am a super Marvel nerd like Josh. So thank you again, Josh.
You should tell him about that picture next time.
What picture?
The Spider-Man picture you got from Fan Expo.
Oh, yeah. Like, hence, if you guys watch the Fan Expo video, I plugged up there. I got the... I'm going to hang it back here, I think. Or maybe I should
definitely hang it back.
I didn't get a frame for it yet. My grandma's going to get me a frame, but
I
I'm going
would
to get it. The artist signed it, too. Which is
I
cool.
saw that. Was pretty cool.
But yeah, thank you again, Josh, for coming in.
Appreciate the time,
If you guys
man.
like what you've seen, subscribe, like. You can join us now. You could be a member. Every member, the money goes into this room, back to me. So I appreciate all the support, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.